Hello and good evening. It's Leon Street back again. And in this video, I'm talking about how to get customers now. So if you've been challenged recently or you feel like you're in a rut, you're stuck and you're not attracting customers and your wheels are spinning and you should be attracting more people into your business, then this video is for you. So I've got something prepared for you. As always, I come ready with gifts. I come bearing gifts even. And today is no different. So let me get on screen what I want to share with you guys on how you can start to attract more customers now. So the obvious thing is, first of all, if this is the first time you tuning in, watching me, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube. It's Leon Street. Otherwise, if you're browsing, you can go to www.leonstreet.com/YouTube and you'll be redirected to my YouTube channel page, which looks very similar to this. Click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to be notified of all my upcoming videos and live streams. 7 steps, guys. I'm going to take you through 7 steps of what you can do right now to get customers. And for me, if you've got a notepad, a journal, make sure you take notes. If you've got any questions, if there's anything specific you want to ask me around getting customers that I don't answer in this content, please drop them as a question below this video in a comment. And I will also come back to your comments specifically. I will come back to them and answer them individually, I should say. So please do drop any comments you've got about attracting customers now. If you're in that position where you want to attract more customers or you need to, and you're a coach, expert, or consultant, this is for you. So step number 1, using social media. On the coaching programs that I run in particular, I have one called Vortex Accelerator, which is where I tend to work in a more group format rather than the one-on-one clients that I serve. And one of the key things that I talk about is creating more hand-raising posts. And when I say hand-raising posts, it's the kind of social media that gets people to interact, i.e. comment below. And quite often people miss this, this easy strategy or tactic, you could call it, in terms of how to attract people. It's very simple. Let's say you have a lead magnet, so like a guide, which could be as a PDF document or something similar. Or maybe you have a video lead magnet. It could be a VSL, just a short video that gives information, and you've got a clear call to action. Those are examples of, let's say, education-based marketing that provide value. Yeah. But how do you get people to even confirm that they want it? Well, what you need to do is use hand-raising content that gets people interested. It hooks them in. It gets them, I guess, really focused on the fact that you've got something good for them. Happy Wednesday. And for me, one of the big things that a lot of people miss is using simple social media posts just to sense check if people are interested. So I'll give you a quick example. A hand-raising post would be, hey, I've just shot a video on the exact steps that my client used to get to $10,200 in 30 days. Would you like to see it? That's an example of a hand-raising post, because anybody who was interested in taking their business to over $10,200 in the next 30 days, achieving those sales, achieving more customers, or attracting more customers, that would trigger them. That would get somebody to say, yeah, me, meaning they would comment below the video. So that's a quick example of a hand-raising post. And the more, I guess, understanding you are as to what the frustrations, fears, the aspirations, wants of your audience that you are, the more likely it is that you'll be able to use hand-raising content that actually works. There's a lot of people who, they're targeting, I guess, their niche, but they don't really understand that much about their niche. And in marketing that has empathy wins. But most people don't understand what empathy is in a message. How you doing, Crystal? Thanks for jumping on, by the way. And for me, if you can inject empathy and you can truly understand the frustrations that your audience are going through and their wants, their desires, that's where you can get more people to raise their hand. Another example would be, I've just created a brand new guide, and this is real, guys. I'm not just giving you an example, but it's actually real. I've just created a brand new guide that shows coaches how to attract 5 clients a day in the next 30 days. if you're interested, guys, comment below this video and I'll actually send you the link to get the free download to the guide. It's a 14-page guide and it takes you through the exact steps that you need to know in order to attract 5 clients a day in the next 30 days. So that's genuine, guys. If you do want that, comment below this video, comment with the word guide, and I'll send you the link to get that for free. Anyways, but those 2 examples that I've just given you are examples of hand-raising content, meaning you get your audience to raise their hand by them commenting, i.e. showing an interest in what you have to offer. Most people use social media and put memes online, they put quotes, they put content out there where they're pitching offers, but what they're not doing is giving value and getting people off the back of the value to take an action. And that's an example of a hand-raising piece of content. So that's one you can use. Let's look at step 2 in my 7 steps. If you're looking to get customers now, look at JV partnerships, so joint venture partnerships or strategic partners. The whole point of that is you piggyback and use somebody else's audience, and really you're using somebody else's audience where you have a non-compete in terms of your services, so there's no conflict of interest. So let's say, as an example, I wanted to JV with a life coach. Well, I'm a marketing coach, they're a life coach, so we serve our audience in 2 different ways, right? And so that would be a natural strategic partnership or joint venture partnership that I could put together. I approach the person, say, hey, can I deliver a 1-hour masterclass for your audience? They say, yes, that's great, because you're going to give value. Oh, by the way, for the last 5 minutes, are you okay if I mention my program, or I mention an offer that I have and how people can get in touch with me? And if the person says yes, because you're going to deliver 55 minutes of value and you're only going to use the last 5 minutes, let's say, just to mention your offer, and the person agrees, great. So now they're going to put you in front of their audience that they've built. The advantage of this is they've already done the work in building that audience, because they're inviting you to speak in front of their audience, whether it's on a webinar, it could be a masterclass in somebody's Facebook group, it could be it's a live video on their profile, whatever it is that is agreed. The whole point of that is that you're getting out to your audience, to their audience, and you're leveraging the work that they've done. And it's a really cool way just to get in front of people. So for instance, or for example, even tomorrow, I'm recording a 1-hour masterclass, and that will be sent to a strategic partner who's holding a virtual summit, and it's all a pre-recorded summit. So that's another example where I'm recording that training for free. I can mention how people get in touch with me to find out more about the program that I've run. And off the back of that, I will get free exposure. And I say free, it's going to take me an hour of my time to record the content, right? Perhaps 90 minutes just with a few edits, but that's great. I'm getting exposure to at least over 100 people. I say at least, it should be near around 400 to 500 people where my training content will be in front of those people. So I have an opportunity, if my content's good enough, to attract leads. So JV partnerships are really cool. The other thing is, when you go into JV partnerships, some people will put you in front of a buyers list. So it's not just all the people I'm connected to or followed by, but let me put you in front of my customers. And that's really powerful. Why? Because you're not just speaking to people who may be interested, you're speaking to people who've spent money before with that JV partner, meaning that there's a higher chance for them to invest in what it is that you're talking about. So if you do give value and you've got a clear call to action or offer that people can, take you up on, you've probably got a higher chance, because that that group will now be open to what people, can really take action on. Yes, you're right, Crystal. There is word of mouth. It's a great one to put out there. As a word of mouth, I guess, kind of tactic, just ask more often. I forgot what the statistic is. I actually have it in another training that I delivered not too long ago. I forget what it is anyway, but I'll see if I can get the statistic up before I finish this live stream. And I think it's from one of those old school gurus like Dale Carnegie or somebody. I'm going to find it. I'm going to see if I can find it just to give you guys the stat. But if you ask for referrals more often, the higher the chances are that you are going to get a referral. A lot of people just don't ask their customers, suppliers, people they know, just asking more, because if you ask somebody, they become your megaphone. So your ask actually reaches further, right? Because they're going to ask the people they know and so on and so forth. Or at least when somebody speaks about something similar to what you do, to the problem you fix, there's again a higher chance that people will then refer you. Step 3, past clients. I see this so often. Not only past clients, but past leads that you didn't land. This is a great opportunity. So let's say you've quoted or you've engaged with people in the past and they didn't buy. Re-engage with them. And there's a marketing tactic, strategy, you could call it, from Dean Jackson, who he popularized this. A lot of marketers still use it. It works really well, which is called the 9-word email. And the 9-word email is very simple to use, but it just works. And a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you right now, they work because you're marketing to humans. Humans, they're very much emotional beings, right? And humans, when it comes to psychology, they're pretty much predictable. If you can trigger an emotion around a problem they have, they're going to be interested. And so the 9-word email or message works really powerfully. So it just goes like this. If you send an email to your, let's say, your email list, or to your past prospect list or past leads list, or even past customers either bought from you, they haven't bought recently, this is how the email goes. The subject is hey name, so hey Leon, and then here's the message that you actually put into the email. Are you still interested in whatever the thing is that you usually offer? So for me, I would say, are you still interested in growing your coaching business in the next 60 days? Or it could be, are you still interested in removing past traumas that are holding you back? If you're a life coach, if you're a consultant, as an example, you would put in your message, are you still interested in XYZ project? Yeah, whatever project you spoke to that person about before. If you are, I'll just use some examples, like professionals, like accountants, your message would say something along the lines of, are you still interested in saving money on your taxes? Yeah, so that's an example of the 9-word email, and you literally just leave it like that with a question mark. Send that out, and I'm telling you, it works every time. I do it once a month at least, and I get people responding like, oh yeah, I'm still interested, and starts the conversation. And that's what you're after, the conversation to start. If you've got a conversation, that gives you an opening, and if you've got an opening, you can capitalize. So step number 4, groups. This one, it's just so powerful and underused right now. Facebook and LinkedIn groups are some of the most active places to get free leads. And when I say free, it means that you don't pay, you just have to invest time. And they're the most engaged places on social media right now. So Facebook groups, just search for groups that are related to the niche that you serve, to the kind of customers you're looking for. They work really well for me. They work really well. I got one client, just from her posting in groups, she generated 700 leads in 3 days. I think by the time it got to 7 days, it was like 800 leads. I've got another client, she did the same thing. She generated 879 leads in 3 days. And I think she posted in about 3 different Facebook groups. The key thing here is that when you post in these groups, you must use what I shared with you in step, let me just go back to remind myself, in step 1, hand raising content. If you're posting in groups, you've got to get people to raise their hands. That's how it works. And there's a couple of, I guess, caveats to this, which is not all groups allow you to post where you're clearly posting some type of offer or lead generation offer. So you need to be mindful of what groups you can post in, because some of them are very tight on the rules, what you are allowed to post in there. Some of them just don't want offers in there. But what I'd recommend to you is join about 20 to 30 groups, and you're going to find the ones that you can post in and that you find are more engaged and more active. And honestly, if you're not using Facebook groups and you think social media is just your profile or your page, and the friends and connections that you've got right now, you're missing the trick when it comes to social media. Facebook, really, the organic side of things is all about groups, and LinkedIn is the same thing. Yes, you can build up lots of connections, especially on LinkedIn and places like Instagram and so on, but the groups are just the prolific right now. Yeah, people are in there. People want to consume and connect, consume information, connect with like-minded people. And if you can join the conversation, you can capitalize. Step 5, if you're in a position where you do have some cash, run paid ads, Facebook or YouTube or Google ads. Remember, YouTube ads, they're part of Google Ads. So if you want to get your ads on YouTube, you have to run it through Google Ads. But it's just so easy. If you want to generate leads, or you just want to get clicks through to your landing pages or your websites, you can literally fire up anything from $5 to $20 a day, yeah, or £5 to £20 a day. It's not going to cost you the earth, and it's something that you'll be able to manage. And even if you find it a bit tricky to set up, there's loads of videos on YouTube and places like that where you can set up an ad pretty quickly. But just another quick way if you want to get in front of more people, you know, right now. Because usually if you want to attract clients, it's the challenge you're facing is obscurity. You're just not in front of enough people, and therefore if people don't know about you, they can't buy from you. And so with ads, one of the important things when you're running ads is to use retargeting. And retargeting is where somebody's already visited your website and you're tracking them and showing them the next ad based on them already or previously engaging with you, i.e. stalking them. That's where paid ads actually become very profitable. And if you're not using paid ads with, you know, $5 a day, you're just missing out. And it's a really great way just to keep fresh new leads coming in. Step 6, tech trends. So technology trends. So what I mean by this is with the social media platforms, they're always introducing new things, new features, new advantages that can actually give you more exposure. So just to give you a quick example, if you're using Facebook right now, and you're just using it with your profile, Facebook stories are really great. So stories, they're very easy to use. You literally log in to Facebook on the app. Let me just see if I can load it up quickly. And you can probably just about see, I'm just going to show you, and you can see where my face, oh, wrong way, there you can see where my face is here, and there's a plus sign. If I click on the plus sign, I can record, I think it's like a 10 to 15 second video. But the cool thing about it is because it's a fairly new feature on Facebook, it has been around a little while, but it's new according to their features. They give you more exposure. They actually put it in front of more of your audience. And the reason for that is, I'll tell you straight up, it's very simple. Facebook works by people spending time on Facebook. So with some of the features they put in place, they purposefully give you more exposure because the people that are more likely to look at your stuff, whether it's friends, connections, just people who engage with your stuff, they give them more of you. And that means you get a bit more exposure. Now, this also is true on Instagram. Instagram brought in something new not too long ago called Reels. And because it's a new feature, have a guess what they do? They give you more exposure. And so if you're using Instagram, I'd recommend you use Instagram Reels. And so when you're posting on Instagram, instead of selecting post or story, there's an option at the bottom called Reels. And you'll see just at the bottom, you can probably just say it says Reels. There you go. Create a reel, very quick video, like 15 to 30 seconds. And I guarantee you within 24 hours, you'll have 1,000 views on that video. And it's because Instagram, again, they're owned by Facebook. They want people to stay on Instagram. So what they're doing is giving more of your audience, more of you. So they're pushing more of that type of content, the new feature, because they want people to use it, to stay on the platform, to be engaged. So yeah, you can pre-record videos. That's another good point. Thanks for pointing that out, Crystal. The cool thing about it for me is that just use the feature. For me, I use a lot of the features and test them out. You got places like TikTok as well. TikTok will give you a lot of exposure. I've used it a couple of times. I've got one client who's got literally millions of views and followers. And it's just because they're using the platforms. And that's one of the things that I'd suggest to you. A lot of people get stuck because they're overthinking things and they get into analysis paralysis. And it's just because they're not taking action. You know, if you want to get customers now, it's about action. It isn't about thinking. It's about what can you do in terms of getting in front of more people. The more you do, the more opportunity you'll create. And don't get me wrong, there's a point where you'll move from having to create momentum and just doing to thinking more strategically. In this video, it's literally how can you get more customers? You get more customers by getting exposure. Your exposure will hopefully create that connection, engagement, conversation, from conversation, a sale. And that's why, you know, for me, using the technology trends, it's not about, you knowing every, I guess, inside out of every feature, filters and all that kind of jazz. No, it's just using the feature, testing it, figuring out, did that work for me? Did that bring any leads? And then off the back of that, you know, you'll see. And then moving into Step 7, if you're stuck, get a cultural mentor. You know, whether you want to get a specific social media mentor, you know, marketing coach or something like that, get somebody who can show you your picture that you can't see because you're stuck in the frame. You know, Les Brown says it all the time, and I love the quote. When you're in the frame, you can't see the picture, and that's the key. Sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees because you're too busy trying to figure out what's not working, when actually all you need to be doing is figuring out what action do I need to be taking that's going to drive me closer towards that goal actually happening. You know, there's a lot of I guess challenges that I see with business owners, and it's because I coach quite a few people and interact with them weekly. But a lot of the times it's just taking action is the big thing. And you got to be mindful as well of the content that you put out. Like earlier I said, you know, use hand raising content, which is great. I come across people who just put offers out all the time. You'll turn your audience off. You've got to mix your content up. You know, one of the most powerful ways to create content is to educate and entertain, and then people will engage. And there is a common phrase in marketing called education-based marketing. You know, that should tell you something. People should learn something about you. They should, you know, get to the point where they know you, they trust you, they like you, they love your personality. Because all marketing isn't just professional and, you know, clean cut. It's actually people seeing more of you. And the more that you can bring you into the picture, the more you'll get people actually taking you up on the opportunity to speak with you, find out more about what you can do, and so on and so forth. Just going back to comments, yeah, I can see Crystal said you can connect both Instagram and Facebook stories. Yes, you can. So it allows you to save time, you know, and that's really cool, and something that I do recommend you guys looking into if you just want to improve, you know, the amount of content you're putting out there. What I would say to you right now is that most of the time, the problem isn't that you can't get new customers. It's just the amount of activity, the amount of action you're taking is just not enough. And if you did take more action and activity, you probably would end up with more customers. And the things that I've shared with you in this video, they genuinely do work. Like I've got tons of proof. I've got clients coming out my ears with, you know, leads and opportunities, and people sliding into their DMs, asking them about their services and so on. And for me, only you can decide which one works best for your business. What I'd say to you is, you know, if you go back to the beginning of this video and you look at the 7 steps that I've shared with you, if you need customers now, implement all 7. Just go ham. Just go like gangbusters. Just go for it. Because what else are you waiting for? Otherwise, you end up struggling. And this video literally was just, what can I give you guys right now who are just looking to attract your next, you know, 5 customers in the next 30 days? It's about putting content out. It's about testing. It's about looking back and seeing what worked, what didn't work, and doing more of the stuff that works and growing. You aren't meant to just stay stuck. And if you are struggling and you're stuck, then that's a sign that you need help. If you want proof of what I've shared with you today, look, here's a client attracted 50 responses to a question he put out, which is hand-raising content. That turned into a sponsor for £10,000, around about $13,000, which turned into £18,000 in sales, $24,000. Here's another client. She did a $13,000 day. I've got another client, 879 leads. This was the client I mentioned to you about in 3 days. Yeah. Here's another client, £10,000 in under 30 days. Here's another client. She did £18,000 during lockdown in 1 month. Here's another client, £8,685. Here's another client, top right, £3,000 sale. Within 5 months, he turned that into £100,000, around about $130,000. Here's more clients, 3,900, 2,500, 4,500, proof, right? So I'm not just sharing this stuff with you because it's theory, or I've gone onto YouTube and picked up somebody else's content to share this with you. It's like, no, this is what I coach my clients on. This is how you win. So go implement, take action, and stop sitting there thinking over, is it right, is it wrong, and just overthinking in general. Just take action. So finally, if you do want help, and if you'd like to increase your prices, create more sales through social media, and just take things to that next level, attract your next 5 customers, comment Vortex below this video and I'll send you more details on how to make that happen in your business. Guys, if you've liked the content, if it's resonated with you, if you thought, actually, I loved one of those tips, even if it was just one of those things, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just head on over to leonstreet.com/YouTube, or just go find me on YouTube. It's Leon Street, and hit subscribe, click on the notification bell. and you will be notified of all my upcoming videos and live streams. And on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Go get some customers and make yourself happy. Take care. Bye-bye.